One. Hey, folks, welcome back to the Nerdcast. Back to nerdy subjects for once, not talking about philosophy and magic. We're talking about good old-fashioned, family-friendly nerd bashing. With my
Disney.
Padawan back.
Hi.
We'll give him back hope. It's been a while.
It has.
So, what's your take on Disney?
I pretty much have grown up on Disney. So, like...
Yeah, I remember the 90s, the golden age of Disney. That's when I was a little kid. Yes, I was born 95, okay? I'm old.
I'm born in 2000s. So, like, I was born during the time of, I would say, Disney's Great Depression.
I was born in the time of Lion King, Toy Story.
Toy Story's not Disney.
It's totally owned by Disney.
Really? I
Pixar's
thought Toy
owned by
Story
Disney.
was
Pixar's
owned by Pixar.
Pixar's owned by Disney.
Oh, well, now they're owned by Disney, but when they first
Toy
started,
Story, Aladdin. That was my childhood. Lion King. I love that shit.
I like the 90s movies. Personally, I haven't watched all of them, sadly. Specifically, The Hunchback of Notre Dame until I was an adult.
That is a good movie.
And oh my goodness, that is a really good movie.
And it's really dark.
Not only that, but there's also there's a bunch of other movies that Disney produced that put so much effort into it, and it got barely any recognition. Like, what was it called? Atlantis.
That's a good one.
That one.
Oh, Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet. Another
That is a masterpiece, and it was ignored.
I don't understand why. I love it. I love it because one of the songs that I like to listen to literally that movie helped create 2 books in my franchise.
You know what song?
My personal franchise.
You know what song I grew up as a kid? The song's from Tarzan.
Yeah, true.
One world, one family. 2 worlds, one family. I love that song. I love that song.
I like I'm gonna be one of those simpletons here and say I personally like the one with the mom and the baby song.
Oh God, I hope.
I am a simpleton.
Why are you such a mom? Why are you such a mom?
I have mom energy. Okay, funny thing, off tangent. I do have, for some strange reason, I have very strong maternal instincts for anything younger than me. Maybe that's why I kind of like Disney, because a lot of the young protagonists in, like, Simba when he was a cub, for some strange reason, I just wanted to pick him up and carry him and be like, I'll take care of you now. Don't worry about it.
Who's the best dad in Disney, in your opinion?
That's hard.
Can I say mine?
Yeah.
Mufasa.
Yeah, like...
Mufasa, and I'm trying to think of another one. If we're counting like those sequel Disney movies, which I don't usually count.
We don't count the sequel Disney movies. There's some I count.
Lion King 2 was okay. Lion King 2 was okay.
Lion King 2, okay, I will say this. Lion King 2 is actually tackled something I don't think they meant to, but...
Us versus them mentality.
No, racism.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Us versus them mentality.
Like, I don't think that was their point, but it made me realize that, ooh.
Let's see. Who's another really good Disney dad?
Okay, I know I'm going to say this, but the Encanto dad, I forgot his name, that is Mirabel's father. The one who literally told Albie, told the grandma that I don't care about the family's miracle. I care about my daughter.
Let me think. Here's another.
Ooh.
Oh man. This is gonna sound really weird, but I think this is gonna sound niche as heck. My favorite. This is a hot take. A great dad character in Disney that I remember and is like more relevant.
Oh my goodness! I just remember the next best.
The pirate from Treasure Planet 1. Okay, the guy who adopts.
Wait, there's a Treasure Planet 2?
There was, but they canceled it.
Okay, thank God. Don't make if it's a masterpiece, don't make a sequel of it.
Oh yeah, well, Star Wars.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on the Star Wars.
And here we're going into the Star Wars Disney rant.
Oh God,
has Disney destroyed Star Wars in your opinion?
Yes.
Aside from the Mandoverse.
Well, I haven't watched Ahsoka Tano's one yet.
It's great.
Everyone, please don't spoil it for me. I will be watching it soon, I promise. But I think at first, when they first got hands on it, they with those first 3 to 4 sequels.
Yeah.
Oh God, did they destroy the original? Like there were so many plot holes. I didn't understand a single.
Look, my
thing.
biggest issue with the sequel trilogy, it's commercialized crap. At least the prequels were original and they tried something different. At least they were interesting and they were fun.
Not only that, but
The sequels are just a blatant ripoff of the original
what's his
trilogy.
name from the Star Wars that made Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Clones? What's his name?
Rex?
No, not Rex. The director.
Oh, Saw Gerrera?
Yes.
The rebel terrorist dude from Rogue One?
Basically, what I'm trying to say is the guy that wrote and directed the Clone
J.J.
War-
Abrams.
Yes, that one. The one that directed the Clone Wars TV show.
No, that's Dave Filoni.
That's
Dave
the
Filoni.
one. Thank you.
I love Dave Filoni. I love that
okay.
guy. He
Okay.
knew Lucas. He knew the guy.
Mm-hmm. If Dave Filoni had his hands on the Star Wars series when they were first given to Disney,
Yeah.
I don't think the sequels would have been as bad.
I don't think it would have been bad at all.
I think they would be very similar to Rebels,
I-
and that's something I would honestly have enjoyed better than the sequel stuff that came out.
I mean, my theory, if Dave Filoni was the director of Star Wars sequel trilogy, he would have respected George Lucas's views, his goals, and his vision. He wouldn't have kicked Lucas's ideas right out the get go.
Yeah.
Because that's what Disney did. You know what Disney did? They took one look at Lucas's idea for a sequel trilogy and threw it in the trash.
Yeah, they did, and
Literally.
yeah, it's a nightmare. But
And Kathleen Kennedy, I'm not trying to sound
we're not I will say this: we're not bashing on the writers. They're basically being told by the corporate what to do and what to write.
yeah.
And so
And that's my biggest problem with Disney in general.
Yeah,
They're so corporate. They're not even art anymore. Back in the 90s, they were nothing but art.
it was all about 2D, but then with recent technology, also if you actually look in the 90s compared to when they first started, it changed a lot.
Yeah.
I will say this: Disney was racist when it first started.
Oh, yeah. Very.
But that makes sense if you look at
It's
the time frame
and
that
place, not
it was the time in
justifying
society.
it, not justifying
However,
it.
now that I will say this, Disney has a different aspect than most studios at the time from when they first started to here they are 100 years later. They're celebrating their 100-year anniversary.
Yeah.
They have changed due to society. When society was sadly being a racist bunch of
Misogynistic.
buttholes, they changed to those views. When we started to get better as society, so did the views. Like Lilo and Stitch, that's a Disney one, right?
It is.
They literally changed the whole entire scene because of what happened during a terrorist attack of 9/11. If you saw the original scene, that took so much time to reanimate, but they had the consideration of the people at the time
Right.
to change that. They take in the memories and moments of society that society is now worrying about, like ideologies, gender neutral, non-binary,
I do
labels.
I do feel sometimes Disney doesn't create. Okay, can you be patient with me? What I'm about to say, okay?
Yeah, go right ahead.
My tangent is I'm pretty socially left myself. I would say I'm center left. Center left.
I think you're more independent, but sure.
Centrist. Yeah. But here's the thing. I feel like Disney has become too, I don't want to say pandering, but it feels like they're not creating stories anymore. They're not telling stories or making art anymore. They're just making shows that are just meant to, they're using publicity and they're using they're trying to be, it feels like they're being, and trying to be so inclusive, they're just making, they're sacrificing
Remixes.
storytelling and they're,
Remember the remixes of the live action Lion King, the live action Aladdin, the live action
understand what I'm
of
trying to
Beauty
say
and the
here.
Beast. Yeah, I understand. They're trying to do that, but
at the expense
I give
of
you
story and creativity, you know?
and at the time that's why I gave you a look is I think they're going to change now because of what happened in California with the writer's strike and the actor strike.
Yeah.
I think we might be getting a more influx of stories. I looked at Wish's story, little glimpses of it. Because I've seen trailers.
Yeah.
It's very much Disney oriented, but it's a mix of 2D and 3D.
That's awesome.
And it's
just for the record-
beautiful.
Well,
I'm
for the
going to say
record.
this. It's beautiful. However, to YouTube, when they uploaded it to YouTube,
Yeah.
the trailer, YouTube messed it up. So don't hold that over their head. YouTube pretty much tried
Yeah.
to ruin Disney.
I will say this: Disney's idea of expanding the monomyth and hero's journey to my favorite two Disney movies come out. My two favorite Disney princesses are that have come out in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
The chick from that Viking movie, Brave.
Merida?
Yeah, I like her, and I like the African American woman from Princess and the Frog. Okay,
Tiana?
I like these characters.
I like how I know these
They're-
princesses' names better than you do.
I like them because they're well written and they're not cheaply written, and they're
Yeah.
not there just for like.
I will say this.
You know what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah,
I like
the
great characters that are well written.
Yes.
Not they're just putting them
Live
for like,
action.
publicity.
One of my favorite princesses, is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And the original, while beautiful and very scenic and very art, kind of did a really bad mental illness
Yeah.
portrayal.
I
I'm not going to
also-
say it, but then
you
the
wanna-
live action came out, and it expanded that world and
Yeah.
sense and magic, and I fell in love with Beauty and the Beast all over again because of the sequel,
Can I
because of
say
that
that,
live
you know what?
action remake.
My favorite Disney
Because
moment.
they expanded what Disney couldn't allow at the time.
Yeah.
They expanded that lore, and that's why I was kind of excited with Aladdin. And again, Aladdin with Jasmine's character, they expanded that lore again. Oh my goodness, they were expanding lore. And then Lion King remake came out, and I was just
we
like,
don't talk about that. Can I?
yeah,
Yeah.
we both don't want to talk about it.
I
I'm-
liked. I'm sorry. I mean,
No, it's fine. Continue.
I liked Will Smith as the genie. Okay.
yes, I
loved
did.
that. I love that.
I love-
And when my favorite dad character of all time. Screw all of it. Genie. Okay. Genie is my favorite dad of all time. Okay.
If Genie was a dad, I think everyone would love it.
Robin Williams is the
But-
greatest father of all time.
Not only that, but Robin Williams, if you all know that Robin Williams was a comedian.
Funny as heck.
Stand-up comedian. He did one about parenting.
Was it good?
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. I will show it to you sometime. It is hilarious.
So my thing with Disney is it feels like the Disney I remember as a kid was about art, creativity.
They're going back to it.
And that's what I like. And once again, I like the idea of this hyper inclusivity and create and like expanding the monomyth and expanding this hero's journey to as many people as possible. But I think the way they've been handling it and writing it has been terrible.
I will say this, best moms. I feel like we should also, not only should we discuss about Disney, but like the best, like we were talking about who are the best fathers in Disney. I feel like with these new, because like Disney's going back to its roots.
Yeah.
It's going back to being a storytelling, not live action remake, because not only is Inside Out 2 coming out, which that's going to be interesting,
Yeah.
but Wish is coming out, and Wish is beautifully animated. A mix of 2D and 3D, which is something Beauty and the Beast did. They also are incorporating the hairstyles of like years of 3D animation, because if you guys remember Rapunzel
Yeah.
and that hair thing, if you guys ever seen, I know there's this clip going around from Disney when they were doing a TED Talk about like their animation and how it changed.
Yeah.
The hair of Rapunzel was very much glitchy in its first times. It was it was a nightmare at the time.
I was a big fan of Rapunzel, you know?
Yeah, I really like
the
the story too and the
I love
transition.
Frozen. The first Frozen movie.
I like Frozen 2.
I like Olaf.
Frozen and Frozen 2.
I love
And
Olaf.
most people are like Olaf is great, but the reason why I like Frozen 1 and Frozen 2 is it's a representation of disability without making it a bad thing.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to say here, you know?
Yeah, and like Disney is doing that with its storytelling.
That's why.
And I think that's why I kind of am like looking forward to whatever Disney's coming up now, because now they're getting away from the live action remakes and such. Like Disney Junior, they expand the lore. Like they're realizing, let's expand
Disney
the
Channel.
lore. Let's expand the lore. Like Lion Guard.
I've
If you guys
heard
have
of it.
watched
I
it,
never saw it because I was 21 when it first came out. So
I was
out my
a
age
high
bracket
schooler when
completely.
I watched it, and they expand the lore, and it get dark. It got dark ones. They
let me
literally
see.
kill off a character scar-wise.
My favorite Disney Channel show I was a kid was Dave the Barbarian.
Ooh.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
What's
like
another
okay, I
good
will say
one?
this. You guys, if you guys remember the Disney Channel,
It used to be good. Then it went to heck around with Hannah Montana.
Yeah, around the 2000s, around my time.
You know, here's the thing. Early Disney Channel was almost the same thing as Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it was.
But same humor, same writing.
Same humor, same writing, but just a little bit better portrayal, I would say.
Yeah, eventually then Hannah Montana came around and became a thing, and things went back to...
It went back to really being...
cringy.
Yeah, it was very cringy.
I hated
High School Musical.
I hated that crap. I hated Hello Charlie. I hated Hang In There Charlie. I hated that.
You don't like Hello Charlie? That was actually a really cute one for me.
I hated it
because it was
Waverly
sibling.
Place was okay in the beginning.
Oh, Waverly Place was really good during the beginning, but like the recent shows that I've been seeing on like Disney XD and such, like DuckTales remake.
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Watch the OG DuckTales, okay?
Yeah, the OG one's great, but this remake version takes the OG's like characters and put them in like... Okay, I will say this. The problem with DuckTales, the original, is that it kind of went all over the place with its storytelling. It wanted to tell everything. And then here comes the DuckTales 2020 remake and just puts it all in a cohesive storytelling line.
You want to know?
And it's good. Oh my god, I have... when Scrooge... Like, remember season 1's ending? Did you cry?
A little bit, yeah.
I cried. I will say this. I started crying.
I mean, I think Disney XD has some really good content. That's what Disney is supposed to be about.
It's supposed to make you emotionally invested because 110% people listening to this who have watched Lion King all cried when Mufasa died.
Yeah.
We all cried when Mufasa died.
I will say this. Disney XD has made some really good content in the last 10 years.
They have, and I'm really proud of them.
They're really creative. I've always loved that channel. I remember all the way back when it was called Teen Disney, and then they had shows like JetX.
Yeah.
They had like Gargoyles. That was a great show. They had like...
Yeah, like, I really like how Disney tries to achieve for everyone. Like,
I think Disney XD has always been more creative.
But like, here's the thing that I want to talk about with Disney. Like, if we have to summarize Disney in one word, I would say inclusive.
Good.
And that
bureaucratic.
I would say that because they're being inclusive for all ages, all genders, all people. And they're trying to tell that story through these inclusions of trying to explain to younger audiences darker themes, like Notre Dame, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. If I could speak, that would be great.
Okay, last thing is I'll ask before we head out. And first one, how do you feel about the Disney villains deaths back in the older movies? Were they...
Hades? Scar? Oh my...
Do you think it was overboard? Do you think it was...
No, like, because...
Because they're trying to say evil people deserve this.
Yeah, and let's be specific. Scar, like, the way, like, the villains were portrayed, they actively murdered people. They actively murdered.
You don't think villain deaths are too dark in Disney?
No, they kind of are deserved because they kind of would have killed a lot of people if they continued. Murder, and that's a pretty bad thing. And as the saying goes, an eye for an eye.
Whole world goes blind.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like some really truly evil people, but
yeah. Yeah, I think Scar goes on that line of being truly evil because dude literally doomed an entire kingdom
and killed his own brother.
And there is speculation that he, like in the Lion Guard, he also killed his own team. He killed his own team. It is because he was the leader of the Lion Guard before Simba's son Kion.
Yeah.
And he killed his teammates.
Yeah. Once again, out of my era, not my cup of tea. Most brutal Disney villain death. The death of that octopus witch from Little Mermaid.
Ursula?
That was dark.
No.
Oh, the death of that one cardinal bishop dude from Hunchback.
Frilo? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking
that
Frilo was the worst.
Dark. And this has come from someone with a Catholic background. That was dark.
Yeah, but was it well deserved?
He was a
very not nice word that we cannot say on this podcast at the moment.
He was... And the point they're trying to make is here's like a ranking highly religious figure who
this is based off a book. And the book is much darker. I know that for a fact. I've seen the book. Frilo in that book? I will not touch you with a... You think I will touch the Grinch with with a 50-foot pole. Frilo, I won't touch you with a mile-long yardstick.
So, last two questions. How do you think Disney can go? What do you think Disney can do right going forward when it comes to their content creation? How would you manage it?
I actually want them to do more blends of 2D and 3D.
All right.
Because, one, Wish looks flippin' beautiful because of this blend. If they do more like Wish animation, or like going back to like doing some 2D and some 3D, or a blend of both, it would be great to see that. I also would like them to go back to storytelling, which I think they're going back to because of, well, writers being able to have a bit more freedom now.
I mean, I'd like if we could see original Disney movies again. I'd like to see that. The remakes have been a hit or miss at best.
I think Beauty and the Beast was the one that really set it off, and then Lion King just ended it for everyone.
I liked Aladdin. That was a good remake.
Yeah, because Aladdin was in between. It was a mix between the both, because it was the same, but yet not. And those who have watched the original and love the original wouldn't be
last
open.
question. If you're trying, for people who are raising their kids on Disney, what would your advice be to parents who are raising their kids on Disney, and what kind of fun will they expect, and what kind of like joys will they get out of it?
I will say this for Disney. Like, if you go to one of the parks, either in the Paris one, the Tokyo one, the one in California, the one in Florida, you don't take your kids there at least once to at least two parks if you're in the United States, go to one of the two parks. If you're outside of the world, go to a park that's nearest to you, because that's where experiences happen the most. I will say this: do not listen to A Small World, because if you have a child that was like me, they will make you go around 9 to 10 times and you will not be able to get rid of the song. However, along with that, Disney
and
parks
make you do a Christmas movie with Tim Allen's.
Yes, but basically what I'm trying to say is, keep in mind that the parks are also part of the experience, not just the movies, not just the show, not just the toys and what did you say?
Merchandise.
Thank you. The merchandise. Keep in mind that the parks and the experiences with your family are much more memorable. And I feel like before we finish like with that, I feel like we should also do our top favorite characters, like the best moms, the best dads in Disney, and then the worst in the worst.
Okay, we'll do two categories: best Disney villains and best Disney
parents.
Parents, yes.
Yeah, our best parents and then worst parents. Because I want to do the worst parent ones, because
go for it.
Because the worst parent ones are very hard to distinguish. However, I think the worst one is by far. This is gonna be a tough one. Oh, which one's the worst one? Like, which one do you think is the worst one?
Worst Disney villain?
Like, not worst Disney villain, but worst Disney parent.
The mom from Brave.
Yeah, she's kind of bad.
Favorite Disney villain of all time.
Favorite Disney that's a tough one.
Jafar.
Jafar? I personally like, it's a tie. It's a tie. Because all my favorite villains are from the 90s, first off.
Hey.
Yeah, I grew up on the 90s movies because the modern stuff didn't catch my attention. My least favorite, my most favorite Disney villain and my least favorite Disney villain, it's hard to say, but my least favorite probably is Coco's villain and Frozen's villain, Hans.
Yeah.
Because twist villains don't really work. The Coco one did, but I just didn't like his character at the start.
Most evil Disney villain I've ever seen in my life in like art style, the witch from Sleeping Beauty.
Ooh, Maleficent! Ooh.
Maleficent and the witch from...
The live action version was really
Snow
good
White,
too.
The witch from Snow White. The
Evil Queen. That's yeah.
We're talking about brutal and dark.
Yeah, those two are really great. However, I think my absolute favorites are these top three, which is Scar, Ursula, and Hades.
Good. Hades is funny.
I love Hades because of his humor.
I could be like Hades someday. I wouldn't mind running hell. I would not mind running hell.
It's not hell. It's the underworld.
Same.
It's
tomato.
It's the realm of the dead. That's what the underworld is
Yeah,
in
same
Greek
thing.
mythos.
Well, anything you'll say to
But
people who
I
anything you
think-
want to say about Disney?
So who do you think is the best parent? Besides, because we know the best dad is Mufasa, hands down.
Best parent,
Like the best mom.
best mom. Trying to think of one that's not cliche.
That's a hard one.
Man, if I had to name one, I really like the mom from Onward. Okay,
I like her too.
you know why I like her? She's realistic.
hmm
She's raising 2 teenage kids and dating a guy, and
She's-
that entire family dynamic from Onward, I freaking love.
Okay, Onward. I never watched Onward, which
As
is
a
sad.
D&D nerd, you'd love it.
I'm upset about that because I would love to see Onward. I've seen clips and I love the concept. I love the story of it.
I hate Soul. I freaking hate Soul.
I never got into Soul.
It's a good concept.
It's a good concept, but they kind of
in
like
execution. Who's this for?
yeah.
You know?
But for
You know what I mean?
for me, I didn't like Soul because the whole concept confused me a lot.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have an interest. Onward, I did want to watch, but just never had the time.
Right.
Which I feel like that's a problem with like Disney films is their streaming service. Because recently for their 100-year anniversary, they started showing the 90s movies on television. Bring that back, please, Disney. I want that because I don't want to look through Disney Plus. Don't you agree with that? Because Disney Plus costs money.
Disney Plus is a scam.
It sucks. I want TV versions. If they bring the TV versions of those,
We need a return to Disney Channel. We need a return
Yes,
to
like-
Disney XD. That's what we
like
need for the
Disney
current generation.
XD, I feel like Disney. If you're wanting to let your kids grow up, don't let them watch just the Disney Channel being next. Once they're old enough to be away from Disney Junior, take them to Disney XD. So, like,
We're surrounded by monkeys right now, folks.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry if you hear us pausing and getting distracted. We're surrounded by
it's our idiot
monkeys.
friends, and
They're being mischievous monkeys. Monkeys.
Yeah.
Not monks, because monks is.
Well, in closing,
Monks are
are you optimistic about the future of Disney?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Surprisingly.
I'm as well.
At first, I wasn't. Like, if you asked me in 2010, what's your future for Disney? What do you expect? Garbage fire would have been my response.
The 2010s were hit or miss at best.
Uh,
But you know, my looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Star Wars, what they have for Star Wars on the horizon. I'm really stoked for all the good Star Wars projects they're releasing.
I will say this. I feel like we should say this before we go is Disney has been around for 100 years. Those who have been there since the very beginning are very few, barely anyone that's been alive. And for that, I want to say that for those people that aren't with us that did the amazing movies like Bambi, Lady and the Tramp, the old movie versions.
Yo, Cast Don't Dance? No.
No, like the old
The
movies.
Aristocrats.
Yeah, the Aristocats. But like for those that aren't with us, those animators and those creative people of story writing and stuff that aren't with us anymore, thank you for bringing Disney to where it is now. I feel like we should say that. And thank you for inspiring the next creativity artists of animators, characters, writers. Oh God, writers, directors. Thank you for giving Disney the ability to inspire and create among its peers, among its audience, and for helping us grow up.
And yet, at the end of the day, screw Michael Eisner. If you don't get that reference,
I will say that I think we should also say happy birthday, Disney, because it's their birthday too.
Happy birthday, Disney. You're like the old grandpa dog I have in my freaking garage. You know,
You're 100 years old. Let's see if you make it to 150.
An old grandpa. You're shouting all sorts of nonsense 24/7, making noises.
You're the grandpa from Up.
I love that grandpa. Well, till next time, folks. Stay sane, and may the force be with you.
Bye.